I'm typically pretty confident in my abilities, but Moosie's got a lot of problems. There's a variety of stitching techniques here, and his fur is threadbare. He also doesn't have any eyes. We could rebuild Moosie. It would be easier to take Moosie apart and trace a pattern for him and cut him out of new material and make a new Moosie, but then it wouldn't be Moosie. I could do a fur graft on parts. The thing is, his fur is so thin, he would be like mostly fur graft. This is what 14 years worth of grime looks like. I'm just gonna go in and undo some of the stitches. How does this happen to him? Was he like lawnmowered? Where is his face? The fur is all there. It's just split so much. By far, this is the most extreme case I've experienced. Day 2. I looked for some suitable fur, didn't find any, but I have towels that are pretty close to Moosie. I think I'm gonna start with his body because the face is the hardest. Despite the fact that he is full of holes, I'm still gonna open him up on his original seam. Removing these stitches is taking forever. I'm just drawing some lines across the seam so I'll be able to tell where it all fit together. And we do have his friend here to help us when we put him back together. This is the sack that used to hold all the beads. I'm gonna mark where this is attached. It's probably got a bunch of holes in it. I'm gonna have to make another one. Man, it must suck to be a real surgeon. Can someone grab me a roll of tape? Can you also hand me the scissors? Thanks, Junior. So I'm just marking where this goes because I'm not going to remember. This is Moosie on the inside, like a slice of Swiss cheese. I'm going to make a little pattern. So if I cut the pieces and stick it through, it'll fill the holes. But before I put this on, I'm going to take that stabilizer and I'm just going to stabilize all this. I'm going to pull them apart even more, but it's totally going to be worth it. I'm taking out this middle seam. I'm a little worried because I don't want to do more harm than good because there's parts that aren't quite attached to it, but I think this is the only way to go about it. It's kind of a weird trade-off, but I think this is the best plan of action. There's 2 things I need to do. One is to stabilize the holes to keep them from fraying more. And the other one is to stick this towel, which will be its new fur, through the existing holes to fill them in. I actually think I need heat bond stuff and not stabilizer. And I'm not sure what order to do it in. I guess I could just put stabilizer on all the seams instead of putting it everywhere. Maybe I'll just do it in sections and I can kind of use the towel pieces as the stabilizer and then pull the fur through the holes. So I need this heat bond to be sticky on both sides, which is good, and then it'll be a permanent bond. I've covered his fur with this heat bond, but before I do the rest, I'm gonna put more stuffing in his limbs because it's possible I'm gonna end up covering up the openings. Why doesn't it stick? So I'm actually supposed to put a damp cloth over it and then you wait for that cloth to dry and that's when you know it's going to be sticky. So now it's working. So I'm pulling threads from the towel through these holes. Now I'm doing the other side of the body and then I will do the head. Junior, do you see that heat gun? Junior. Thank you. Why didn't I think of this like an hour ago? I have reinforced the inside of Moosie's face, but there's so much missing that it's kind of hard to tell where it's supposed to be. I don't know what I'm doing. I just received a text from Moosie's living companion that says they're going to be in the area between 10 and 11 tomorrow. Will Moosie be ready by then? I'm going to say yes. Ah! Oh. Nurse Susan, do you know how to thread a needle?
Now we lay us down to sleep. With one kiss goodnight, a million to reap. And if I should die before the day, bury me deep in what I didn't say.
Moosie's looking so good. I'm excited. He's got a whole face again. I'm just putting this on the bottom of his mouth so he'll be reinforced. I'm so tired. We're so close. I've just been trying to sew a straight line for like an hour. My sewing machine wouldn't sew right and it wouldn't reverse. Ah! So now I've broken my serger and my sewing machine. We're good. We have a packet of beads. Every project is different, which is what I enjoy. I like discovering different techniques for fixing things. Honestly, I feel like I'm just making this worse. Day 3, I just finished sewing it in last night and then proceeded to dream about Moosie and kind of worry about if his body was too thick and he's gonna feel weird. I thought I saw him on my ceiling. Got up at like 6 o'clock. I told them they could pick him up at 11. I gotta sew him up, put his eyeballs on, see if I can fluff him, make a tail. So this is kind of the last piece. One of the antlers is totally fine. I'll just reinforce it, but this other one's all weird. So I'm just gonna take the antler off and reattach it. I am just tying off this knot. We ordered the eyes, we got them in yesterday, and I've picked the one that's closest. Yay! Moosie has a face now. Oh, he still needs a tail. But that's okay. Nurse Susan's usually doing yoga in the morning. She's off duty right now. I have now re-stitched the front. He's all sewn up. I'm just gonna break this up. Let's see if I can make a tail. I'm just sculpting it with what there is, trying to form it into the correct shape.
Hello?
Hello, come on in. I am still finishing him up, but I will be there in 1 second. I finished while they were still here. If they had been at 11, that would have been exactly on time. They seemed happy. I'm happy. His eyes look awesome. His face is actually back. I wasn't sure how to do it. I wasn't sure if I could do it. That's what is fun for me, is the figuring out how to do it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your help. Okay.